little bit about today's game, especially coming off of 2 shutouts of your own. This was a tightly played game here in Reading today.
Yeah, I thought both teams played pretty well defensively. Our goaltending was obviously outstanding today. We didn't really wake up till the third period, but as soon as we got things going, it seemed to bounce our way a little bit. Just couldn't put one in the net.
When you get down like that in shots after the first period, they had 25 shots in the first period. What's the message in the room and on the bench really for you guys to kind of get up and get back into things?
I think the fact that it was 0-0 going in after that, just hitting the reset button and going back at it. And I think we got a little bit better in the second there, but needed to hit the reset button again. And then we went back in the third and unfortunately couldn't get that one goal.
You're out there with just over a minute left in regulation and had a pretty good opportunity right there in front of you that had to be a little frustrating.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a frustrating one. I definitely should have deked on it, but I thought it went through him, and I looked back and it was stuck in his pad.
So let's talk a little bit about how your season's been going so far. Offensively, you seem to be, you're contributing, you're leading the team in assists. You seem to be doing all the right things down here in Adirondack.
Yeah, I've been playing pretty confident, and I felt good about my game lately. My line mates have been great, and everything has been going really well. For you,
there's always an adjustment period, whether it's a call-up or a send-down, no matter what league. There's always that adjustment period. So how did you handle that after leaving Laval at the end of camp and so forth, and how quick do you think you were able to kind of focus on what you needed to do here to get that call back up?
Yeah, obviously it's disappointing when you get sent down. You want to be as close as you can to the NHL because that's the end goal at the end of the day. I think I regrouped pretty well. I went home, grabbed some clothes, and headed out to Adirondack. And in my head, I was just thinking, just do what you can down here, do your best, and you'll get your shot eventually.
Did it help having 2 other guys from Laval here with you that you kind of got at least know a couple people, perhaps you know some other guys in the room as well, but you're all kind of in the 3 of you at least are in the same situation coming from Laval? Yeah,
having Waked and McNiven here is definitely nice. It's a nice little comfortability thing, having 2 people and not just going into a room full of strangers, but everyone's been great and so welcoming, and it's been good.
That's my next question is what's the environment here been like, and what's your experience with this team been?
It's been good. All the guys are great. The coaching staff is great, and it's been a really good experience so far.
So a little bit just about your style of play. You're a fast skater. They seem to be relying on the PK a bit too. What are the big strengths that you really feel that you bring to the ice?
I think my speed pushes my game for sure. I think I've been really able to make plays right now and feed guys the puck. I think putting the puck in the back of the net is something I need to work on continuously, and I've gotten my chances. Goalie just usually makes a good save, which is unfortunate. But no, it's been good. I think my speed is definitely my main contributor.
Does management or coaching from anywhere in the Montreal organization, whether it's up top or from Laval, do they communicate with you at all? Do you see them kind of ever coming down and keeping an eye on things?
I haven't heard anything so far. I know they're in talks with our head coach Alex and management quite often, and they're keeping an eye on us, but I haven't personally talked to them at all.
And as far as going forward, it's like I said, you guys have these 2 teams are at the top of your division, so really competitive at the team that you're on right now. And what are your thoughts right now for the immediate future and just pushing forward?
I just think playing my game and making sure I have a well-rounded game, and hopefully I get that call back up soon. But it's been good while I'm here, and I want to be the best I can while I'm here. Thanks.
You're coming off of back-to-back shutouts, so talk to me a little bit just about how things have been going for you down here, and 2 shutouts isn't a bad way to end the week.
Yeah, I think for me, my start, was a bit under average, but now I feel comfortable. I feel like, I'm playing my game at the best of my abilities. I think as a team, especially in those 2 shutouts, everything was kept outside. I was controlling my rebounds, and like today, we had a really tough start, and we're lucky that Eamon, kept us in that game, because that could have been a pretty bad outcome if, it wasn't for him. So I think, we had a great 2 first games this week. I think, especially being on the road and always in that long travel and everything, we need to tighten it up a little bit and support each other and get quick changes in, and we didn't do that tonight. So I think, like I said, I'm feeling better now, comfortable, and I'm getting my game back.
That's good to hear. What's the feeling in the room like? How's the chemistry with the team in general?
I think we have a good team here. We have a couple guys from the AHL, and we've also lost a couple in the last couple weeks. So it hurts us a little bit, but we have guys that can fill in and do the job properly. So I think we need to keep going with the same mentality we had the last 2 games, and I think it should be a good season for us.
You personally, I know this couldn't have been easy, getting sent down from Laval. Went through this last year as well. What's been the key for you to staying positive and thinking about working towards getting back there?
One thing I really see and myself is, I've made a big change in my maturity level. I think I've gotten a lot more mature, and sometimes, people could have said, not being a joke or anything, but I wasn't putting in as much effort as I should be, and I think, the transition from junior to pro and how my junior went, I think, I could have been maybe a little bit big-headed or something like that along those lines, but this year I've really realized that it's a lot more than just winning off talent, and especially at a pro level, and especially in this league too. It's probably one of the toughest leagues for goaltenders, and every day I just got to be a better pro and actually put my mind to it and get everything done.
So what are the things that you're most focused on while you're down here? What parts of your game are you the most focused on?
I think, obviously, like everyone says, there's always room, to make everything better. But, I've really taken my off-ice stuff to the next level, whether it's stretching, working out properly. Never in a million years would I think I would step into an ice bath, but I just started doing that about a week ago. So,
and how'd that go?
It was hard. The first 2 minutes is the hardest thing, maybe that I've been through in my whole life. So, it feels good to get that done, even just those little things, and it's going to help me in every aspect of my game. So help me prepare before games for the week, whatever it is. Everything I'm doing right now, I'm trying to give myself a chance, to get back up there and win some games down here.
I just asked Hayden this as well. The 3 of you and Hayden and Antoine kind of were on the same boat, getting sent down all at the same time. Did that make the transition a little bit easier, having a couple of other guys that were from your team that were in the same boat?
Coming into camp this year for myself, I already knew what I had to do, to try and give myself a fighting chance. So for me, it was really nice to have them come down with me. I think, me and Antoine are roommates, and obviously that makes the transition a lot easier when you're with someone that and you've played with for a while. So, at first I think it was just supposed to be me coming here, but the fact that both of them came with me is nice too. So, we both, being roommates, we keep each other level-headed and we try and be positive as much as possible, even though it's really tough. We both played in the A the last 2 years, I believe. So for the most part, and getting sent down in your 3rd year, it's a little tough, but he's been there for me. I've tried to be there for him as much as possible, and it's been good for us, for sure.
Have you do the Canadiens at any level, whether it's from Montreal or from Laval, do they communicate with you? Do they keep in touch with you, or is most of that going through the head coach?
Honestly, I don't really know. I saw Montreal for the first time this past week in Brampton. It was really nice to see, because I know New Jersey's guys been here almost every day. So, it's not exactly really that close for them. So, I mean, I just got to be on my own page, like I said, just be a pro, and it's definitely is a new learning curve, but, I hear from the staff a little bit. I keep a lot of contact with the strength coach, the goalie coach in Laval, just to keep myself in the loop and really, like I said, give myself a chance. And, it's just going to be all hard work in the end.
A game like today, especially coming off of 2 shutouts. As you said, their goaltending made a big difference for them today. What's the message to your team, particularly after that first period when they've managed to get 25 shots just in the opening frame? What's the message to the team in the room to kind of wake them up and get them into things?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty forceful with my message. I think it was pretty obvious that wasn't an acceptable start to the game. We were better in the second, obviously better in the third, but you just can't afford to start like that at any league. So it was just a tough start, and luckily our goalie kept us in it.
Overall, this season, this team seems to be competitive at the top of the division. What have been your observations of this team as far as what you've done so far and heading into the rest of the season?
I think our structure's been really good. I think we took a couple games to get that under our belt, but once we were able to start to play together as a unit of 5, I think we've been successful. I think it shows in the 2 shutouts that Michael had back-to-back, and then even today, when it wasn't going our way, we still kind of stuck with the program pretty well. So hopefully we could just continue that for the rest of the year.
You mentioned Michael McNiven. Can you speak to his work ethic and how he's performed to you, his attitude since he's been sent down from Laval, just your overall impressions of him this season?
Well, Michael's a goaltender is obviously excellent. I mean, I know his first start was a bit tough, but we hung him out to dry. It was a bit like tonight where we weren't very good in the first, so I wasn't concerned at all. And then obviously since then he's been stellar. I think he actually might be perfect. So he's been great in practice. He's been great. His attitude's been awesome. Like, he just came in, went to work, knowing that he has an opportunity to go back to Laval at any point, so he wants to be ready when he has that chance.
Same thing, same kind of question for Hayden Verbeek. He seems leading your team in assists and seems to be very quick on the ice, relying on him on the PK. What have been your impressions?
His speed makes him unique. I mean, he's probably the fastest player in this league when it comes to straight ahead speed, so it makes him a threat at all times. Same thing with his attitude too. I mean, he came in here and he said, "I'm here to play and I'm ready to go and I'm excited." So that's all we can ask from a guy. Like, sometimes those guys on NHL contracts don't necessarily have the greatest attitude when they're in the ECHL, but he's taken it the right way. He's taken every opportunity he's had, and obviously he's had a huge impact on our team.
Antoine Waked wasn't here for too long. He's already had his recall and already making an impact in Laval, goal in his first game back. But what was his experience here like?
Wakey's a great kid. I mean, he had, again, another attitude that was perfect. He fit right into the group. He was joking around with the guys, and then on the ice and in practice, he's one of our better players as well. He works hard. A little different skill set than Hayden, a little bit more of a worker, a little heavier player, but fit right in with our mold, and we're excited to see him get the opportunity. Obviously, it's good for him to get that goal and a fight up in his first game with the ball.
Is it is it a challenge as a coach? You know, you've got guys, and the AHL deals with this as well. Guys who get sent down, and then the next level up or the 2 levels up is where they really want to be. What's the biggest challenges as a coach to kind of help them get over that emotional hurdle, that mental hurdle, and focus on the positive and improving the things that they need to work on to get that call back up?
I mean, I think it's really good to have communication with the parent club. I mean, and when those 2 guys were sent down, Scott Mellenby was excellent about communicating on what the thought process was for them. So if we can continue the message and relay to them that the parent club still knows that they're around and that they're not just buried down here with no hope of being recalled, I think that helps a lot. And then when they're here, just accepting the fact that they're here and then doing everything they can to improve. They get more ice time here than they would at the AHL level, which is always good for development. And all 3 guys that we've had have been excellent about that. They've been great about putting the work in, and you can see the chance that Antoine's had, and I fully expect Hayden and Michael to get that opportunity as well.